Hi, it's Christy Coulombe on the Northern Oregon coast. Today I'm in Seaside, Oregon in the Cove neighborhood at 2977 Sunset Boulevard. This home is lovingly named the Peapod. This is a mid-century home built in 1955. It's a sweet little beach cabin right across the street from the Pacific Ocean, and I am really excited to show you around this one. It's super cute. So this is the front of the home. It has really nice mid-century lines with a flat roof. The roof was replaced recently, and it's a membrane roof by a local company, which is important because these local roofers really know how the coast winds go and how to really make the roofs last. This is directly across the street from the Cove, and this is the Pacific Ocean just right out your back door. There is public parking here across the street. If you go this way, you can go down to Avenue U and you'll hit a light that gets you out onto Highway 101, or you can take Beach Drive all the way to downtown Seaside. And then there are public restrooms over here and some outdoor showers. People use that to rinse off after they've been in the ocean. And then if you go up this way, it's a dead end, and there are the Whalers Point condos up there. And then there's also the Tillamook Head Trail, and that goes all the way over to Ecola State Park, and it's a gorgeous trail. This is kind of some of what you're looking at, what you'd be hiking in that trail. Just old growth woods, and it's a really magical hike. What is really interesting about this is, yes, you have parking here, but you have the shot here of the ocean. And this is another little cabin as well, just a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So this property's big. It's about 1/3 of an acre, and it goes way back. You have this grassy area. The backyard's cool. I'm gonna take you back there in a little bit. But right now we are going to go inside the house. The little foyer area. The heat system here is an electric heat pump. So there is air conditioning, which is kind of unusual for a property on the coast here, but it's also, the heat pumps are efficient. This is the main living area. That is an electric fireplace. The chimney for the original fireplace was taken out when they did the roof. That could be added again. And then this is a little bit of an elevated view compared to where we were standing outside. Oh, for reference, there are vents throughout for the heat pump. So it is a central heating system. It's not just a mini split. Moving into the mid-century kitchen. Solid wood cabinets that I think are original. You have these Art Deco lines and the original Formica countertops. An electric range, and a dishwasher. And that is a cook vent that the seller assured me actually goes outside. When he bought it, it didn't, so that was an improvement he made. This is the garage right now. There's some furniture being stored in here, but electric garage door. They also improved the electrical since they bought it. So it's an extra deep garage. There's that panel, and then there's this panel. An electric water heater. And of course, lots of storage. No insulation in here. Back into the living room area. The closets are kind of stuffed right now because we did a little bit of editing of things that were out. So this is a coat closet. And then this is a bedroom. And it's actually a pretty good size bedroom. There's a lot of closet space in there for a home of this size. And you have the paneling. I don't know if this is original to the 50s, but definitely vintage. Little view of the outside from the bedroom, but it's an elevated window, so you have the privacy in here. I don't know if you can hear it, if it's picking up, but I just hear the ocean, and it's very relaxing. Okay, moving into the bathroom, ceramic tile floor, and of course there is a heat vent in here, little vanity, and then it looks like an Art Deco tub. You see some of the original lines here. That's cool. It's a tub shower combo, and they do have a water filter on that shower head. There's a little built-in cabinet here. At some point, this addition was put on. Based on the paneling, I'm thinking maybe the 70s. You can see it was once the outside of the home with the cedar shingles. Today, they use it as another bedroom. And that is a queen-size bed. A view of the backyard. And then there is access to this deck from this little back addition area. Both of the doors have storm doors with screens on them. And then they make sure to seal the exterior every year because it is the coast and the salt water hits it and can deteriorate things if they're not maintained. There's a little back garden bed area and manicured trails and trees. And this property does go back quite a ways. It goes back, there's a fence line here, and there is a pin back there. And you know, if you've listened to my videos before, if you watched them before, you know how I'm a sucker for a good tree to climb. I've actually climbed this tree off record. It's a couple different trees that would be amazing to climb, but I've only climbed that one. And I have to admit, it doesn't look that sketchy, but it was pretty sketchy. This is the back view of the home. And then they had some foundation work done, some supports put in here when they bought. And Terra Firma did that out of Portland, and they can adjust them if they have any settling. They haven't, but there's those screws that make it so that they can adjust them if they need to. And then over here, I'll give you a shot of the heat pump. That is the heat pump. And there's not stairs to go down from this back deck, but I will walk around and show you what's going on back there. Okay, walking out the front door, walking down this grassy area. That's the deck we were just on. This is underneath the house. Or not underneath the house, underneath the addition, and then there is a crawl space down there. Okay, let's walk through these pathways. Sounds like there's a crow up there telling me what's up. I think that's a crow. And when I was a kid, I had so much fun back here. Little forts, burled trees. This reminds me of my childhood a lot because I grew up down here. This is another view of the back of the house. Sweet mid-century home. Gotta love those lines. And there is a pin back here. I think it's behind that tree for the property line. Little nooks and crannies. And a fire pit. I don't see it where it's marked anymore, but it's approximately the end of that fence line. So there is a pin. Oh, I see it. It's kind of knocked over the pin. Yeah, so it's near the end of that fence line there. So it's a nice big property. I bet that those crows have a baby, and that's why they're so mad I'm back here. They do that at my house too, because we have a crow box for them. And when they have babies, they just squawk at me when I try to go on my back deck. They don't like it. There is a sprinkler system here. Out an exterior and outside sprinkler system. And the controls there. And so we have cedar shingle. Like old school mid-century cedar shingles for most of the foundation or the siding, and then the foundation looks like it's hard to tell if it's cinder block or that's just how they poured it. I have to inspect that. I think it's just how they poured it. Huh. Yeah, that's cinder block, but that's for the fireplace. And then here, this is another kind of siding. I don't know what kind, but for whatever they did there for the addition, it may have been you know what? This may have been a porch before. I'm thinking maybe that was a porch that they enclosed for the addition and put a roof on it. Kind of piece these things together after you do it long enough. Okay, well, that is the pea pod here in Southwest Seaside in the Cove neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed checking it out.